Greetings and salutations. Welcome to our segment on Portswigger Web Security Academy. We are covering SQL injection. Today's focus is on blind SQL injection with conditional response. So blind SQL injection is a little different than the union injections that we were doing in the previous. So with blind SQL, we don't get a notification like on display text here on the screen per se. It notifies us in other ways, so we have to be creative for blind ones to work. And in this scenario, we'll be using a tracking cookie. And if the tracking cookie is there, it will give us this message, welcome back. Another way for blind SQL injection is actually timing, but that's not part of this lab. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and click access the lab, let that get loaded, and let's read about the lab. All right, so this lab contains a blind SQL injection vulnerability. The application uses a tracking cookie for analytics and performs a SQL query containing the value of the submitted cookie. The result of the SQL query are not returned and no error messages are displayed, but the application includes a welcome back message in the page if the query returns any rows. The database contains a different table called users with columns called username and password. So it's not going to be fully blind since we know the table is called users and there's two columns, one known as username and one as password. That helps a lot. We will need to exploit the blind SQL injection vulnerability to find out the password of the administrator user, so that's something else we know, to solve the lab login as administrator user. Okay, sounds pretty straightforward. So if you notice there's nothing there, if we click on, say, pets or something, now let's say welcome back. And that's how we want to get started. So what we want to do is come up to our burp, we're going to turn interceptor on, come back. So we click on pets, go to repeater, proxy, we just right click that, send to repeater, and here it is. And if we want, we can tell that intercept back off, go back to our repeater. And what we're going to look at here is this tracking cookie. This is what we're going to be messing with. So let's just click send so we can see what it looks like. And if you look on render here, you can see that welcome back. So the first thing we're going to do is come up here and put like a single quotation. And then we're just going to click send and it makes it go away. But to know about this being blind, because we're not going to really get text feedback, we got to try something. So we're going to do the operator and do 1 equals 1. And then we're going to do our comments. We may not need to, but I think I'm just going to do it anyway. And this says welcome back. So that means with this tracking cookie and 1 equals 1, we get welcome back. Now, if we do 1 equals 2, that's a false. So the welcome back should disappear. And that's good for us now, okay? So that's proving that we have a blind SQL injection capability. Let's see how we can further exploit this. So let's continue with the Boolean logic and find out more about if this database of users exists. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this 1 equals 1, and we're going to do a open parentheses, select space a in single quotation mark, then from users space limit space 1, and our parentheses equals a in single quotations again, and we'll click send, and we get welcome back is still there. So what if we had 2 S's on the end of the user's database table? It doesn't work. So we are proving that this table exists with blind SQL injection. Let's keep on going. Now we want to verify that the account administrators is actually true, right? Because we're going to get rid of the limit part and go back to users here. We'll do a space where username equals I'm going to do administrator in single quotes, and the parentheses equals A, and we're going to click send. And we still have it. Now to verify that worked, and not just some weird fluke, let's give administrator 2 R's. And send. Yep. See? No welcome back. So we prove that administrator does exist. And from here, we want to see about the password. Now let's keep on pushing this boundary. So right after administrator, we're going to add another condition of and equals, we're going to use the syntax of length. Length. And then begin parenthesis. We're going to do password. And then in the parentheses, and then do the greater than 1. And then the equals A in single quotations. We'll send this. And we have proven that the password is longer than 1 character. Not surprising. And then we could go, and then we type a 2 there. We now know it's more than 2 characters. So let's add a giggles here. Let's try 30 characters. We know it's less than 30. Now that's going to be time consuming going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way there. But there's something else we can do. So let's just take that back to, let's just go back to 1. There. Right click this. And we are going to send this to intruder. From intruder, click this clear. And this little symbol is going to be like our payload portion. And we're going to find that 1. And we're going to highlight it and click add. And that 1 is going to be our payload scenario. And we're going to be using the sniper attack. Come over to the simple list. Come down to numbers. And we're going to go from 1 all the way up to, say, 30. Okay. And step, we're just means we're going to go like how much we're going to be changing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you did 2, it'd be like 1, 3, 5. Okay. And then how many is how many you're actually going to do, which it's just going to do all 30. The how many is more if you're going to do the random option. Okay. So for that in place, we'll click Start Attack. And since this is Burp Suite Community Edition, it contains a demo version of the paid one, and which means it is throttled. It will be slower. Okay, that's fine. Just let it keep going. And I want you to pay attention to this length. Okay, once you see the length change, like right here, see where it changed on 20. If we come down here, pull this up a bit. If I can find it. Oh goodness, there we go. So if you come down, where was it? 20? Yeah, so if you look, 19, 20, the length changes. So let's go to 19 and you click on the response and click on render. You'll see the welcome back. If we click on 20, look at that, it's gone. So we know it's more than 19 characters, but less than 20, but not greater than 20. So we know there is 20 characters for the password. Okay, keep that in mind. We're going to go ahead and discard this. That's fine. That is very useful. So now we know there is 20 characters in the password for the administrator, all using blind SQL injection. All right, so now we got to figure out what's in that password. So let's go back to repeater. And from here, let's remove everything past the administrator. Right to there, let's remove all of that. And then let's get rid of the A part. And what we're going to do is a substring. So substring, and begin parentheses, we're going to do password. And then we're going to do comma 1, I believe in parentheses, yep. And then from users, where username equals administrators equals A. And we will send this in. Okay, we didn't get nothing there. So we could try like B, right? Nothing there. So we can keep doing this over and over and over. But instead, let's go on ahead and send this to intruder. And we'll find where that was. There's the A, or the B. We'll turn that back to an A. And what we're going to do is take that A, highlight it. First, we clear all those bad anything that was in the payload, and make that the payload. And last time we did numbers, but it's going to probably be more than numbers. So what you could normally would do is a simple list, but you can make your own list. You can put in here. You can load a list. You can type out stuff manually, but we have the nice feature of brute forcer. So what we can do with this is change this minimum length to 1 and the maximum to 1. And what this will do is go through this A all the way through Z, 0 through 9, and test that character A there with each of those one by one by one. And now watch this cool little feature. If we go to settings and we go down to this grep section, if you guys don't know, grep kind of means like find, and we'll clear those out. Yep. And we will add, what was it? Welcome back. And we're going to click add. And let's go ahead and click our start attack. And we know that it's going to be limited, and that is perfectly fine. So what's going on now is going to try every single character in that slot for the first part of the password to make sure and verify. Oh, look right there. Welcome back. Right there. See, you look at the length and look at the character. So if we come here, we look at response, render, and scroll down, there's welcome back. We try these other ones. Nope. And so we know the first character is going to be a K. All right. That's pretty cool. So we know the first character is a K. That's awesome. However, doing it, oh, cancel that. Doing it like this, little by little, will definitely take some time, right? So let's go ahead and close that. So what can we do to help speed this up? Well, there is something we can do. We can do something besides a simple attack. We could do a cluster bomb. So if you look, the sniper inserts each payload into each position one at a time using a single payload set. But the cluster bomb allocated payload set to each position. Intruder iterates through all possible combinations in each set. So we need to change this one, but we also need to change this one here. So we will add that and we'll continue. So what we want to do is go back to our payloads. We're going to come up here, deselect everything, and we want to choose this top one, and we want to add a payload to that one, and then we want to go to that A and add a payload there. Change it from simple, and we're going to choose the cluster bomb. Because the cluster bomb, again, allocates a payload set to each position, and Intruder then iterates through all possible combinations of each set. So you see here we have the 1-1 and the 2-1, right? Or the 2A. So first payload, second payload. So the first payload, we want to do the numbers. We want to do 1 through 20, since we know there's 20 characters for this password. Then for the second one, which is A, which is the one down here, which changes the highlight, we will want to do that brute force technique again, brute forcer. And again, just 1. We don't want to quite do that many. There we go. Minimum length 1, maximum length 1. Perfect. And do we still have our grep setting? We do. Now, verify what we have. That one's also good. All right, so we'll click Start Attack. And that's okay. So this is going to take a little bit of time. I did this one earlier. I actually stepped out for a bit and came back. I believe it was done within an hour, I think. Because if you look at the bottom, there are 720 iterations it can go through. And if you notice, it's not actually going through payload 1, 1, 1. It's actually starting with payload 2 first. So if you look over here, it's actually doing the A's first. And if you look, we actually got some welcome hits where the length is different, but we have that. So we could actually sort by welcome. So we know that the 7th character is A, the 5th character is B, and the 9th character is B. I believe we can also sort by the first payload, then come back to welcome. There we go. So we're sorting by payload and then welcome. You might have to click around on those headers. So 5, 7, oh, there we go, another one. So I'm gonna let this run for a bit. I'm gonna pause the video and we'll be back when this is finished. All right, I'll see you soon, guys. Alrighty, that finally finished up. I started to write part of it out, but it wasn't fully done. But I think it's finished now. So that took quite a while. And you see it's still 590 out of 720 on the bottom left here. But I think we have enough. So let's see. And the first character is a K. Second character is an N, then an I, then a Q, then a B, then an X, an A. What is that? That's a 0. Then we have a B, C, N, 2, K, Y, D, C, C. Let's see. Let's see. After 2 C's, who's on D, C, C? What's it? P, O, H. That looks to be the password. Then let's come back over here. Let's go to my account. Hopefully the lab didn't. Yeah, I was terrified the lab was going to expire. I always am for how long this one is. And that is it, my friends. Good job, good job. We got it. So pretty much you just had to wait until it went through here and found the 20 characters that we were needing. And we did the grep for the welcome back to find it easier. We could have also just sorted by length as well. Either way works. Then we typed that all down into a notepad and then we logged in. There is a more elegant way of doing this, which I'm not very familiar with. You could say, oh, is the character greater than, say, I don't know, H or something? And if it is, then you can minus anything H or lower out of the equation. And it's like a binary something, but I'm not very familiar with it. So nonetheless, congratulations. You guys got this done. You completed the lab. You can see the beauty of blind SQL injection and how difficult it can be. So there's 2 things there was for the defenders. 1, the passwords are not hashed, and 2, there's blind SQL injection. Our input should be sanitized. All right, you guys, be safe, stay secure, and stay ethical. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.